So I'm going to expose these services internally. So that's going to be super easy. We just need to run kubectl expose deployment and indicate the port number. So kubectl expose deployment redis --port, oops, --port 6379. That's the port number for Redis, if you're wondering. I do that, and like maybe 10-15 seconds later, like the name will exist thanks to kubedns. Then the worker will be able to resolve that name and connect to the Redis service, and now it will crash because it's missing the other RNG and hasher services. Yes?
Can you actually explain what is kubedns?
What is kubedns? Oh, I was hoping I would be able to get away without giving too much details about that. Okay, so kubedns is not strictly necessary, but in practice you want it, I think. kubedns is a DNS server that will map between the names and the cluster IPs. So in that case, when we did kubectl expose deployment Redis, kubedns was also listening to all those things happening, and it's like, oh, you have a new service, Redis. So I'm going to create a DNS entry, Redis, resolving to the cluster IP of that service. So now when your containers resolve the Redis name, they get that cluster IP.
So it is the router port.
Is kubedns a router? I wouldn't. No,
Do you know what this router port that runs like HAProxy?
No, so kubedns is really just doing the DNS mapping. So it's translating, like for instance, if I do kubectl get svc, if I resolve Redis, I'm going to get IP this.
That's the router port, like in OpenShift, say.
Oh, it's called the router port in OpenShift?
It's misnamed, but that's what it is.
Okay, so naming is OpenShift is even more interesting than in Kube. That's interesting. Okay. So, yeah, behind the scenes, note that kubedns is just doing that mapping, but then when you connect to the IP address, it's a bunch of IP tables rules that are set up by kubeproxy that will take the traffic to the actual container. All right, so now if I look at the logs of the worker, I see a slightly different error. I say name does not resolve for RNG. All right, so let's expose RNG and worker as well, and hasher, sorry. kubectl expose service RNG. No, kubectl expose deployment RNG --port equal 80. Great, then kubectl expose deployment hasher --port equal 80. If you're wondering, like, okay, do we really have to do all these manual commands when we deploy an app? No, we could, like, each time I do something like that, in fact, it's like for kubectl run. kubectl is going to generate a bunch of YAML and push that YAML to the kube API. So what we could do is dump that YAML, and then we could put all that YAML in a nice kind of package, and then we could say, okay, just install all these things. And with one command, boom, we get everything up and running. All right, now if I look at the logs of my worker, that's way better. It's saying, yep, it's working. I'm like generating Docker coins or whatever.